What's up, guys? Welcome. Another episode Beyond the Gym Floor, talking about like the same intro. I know I do that every single week and it's the same, but maybe I'll come up with a new one next week. Today we talked about something that we got feedback on in our workshop yesterday, which was systems. A lot of people feeling like they don't have appropriate systems within their business to get the outcomes that they want, and how to actually go about creating the systems that you need to move yourself forwards, efficiency, and effectiveness within your business. We also spoke about identifying imbalances with clients, and then jumped back into, is the thing that you're trying to do actually what you want? Specifically, we talk a little bit about people wanting to go online or create passive income, all those types of things. And people just missing maybe what's involved in doing that or doing anything in your business, and making sure that it actually aligns with where you would want to be. So stay tuned to the very end where we talk about that. For now, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you're on the tube, a comment, share it to your story if you can, give us a tag, do all the things. Makes a epic difference to the outcome of each podcast and helps us out a lot. We hope we give some valuable information, so all we request is just a little follow on the Spotify or subscribe on the tube, please. Standout PT intake is open right now. You just have to go to the website. All the information is on there, even the pricing. And you can book a free discovery call with myself. We'll go through your entire business, see what your strengths and weaknesses are, and whether or not we can help. And worst case scenario, you get essentially a free business coaching call. So we get to hang out for an hour. It's the worst things in the world. All right, enjoy the episode, and we will see you next week. Yeah, so if you tune into the Fit podcast on Wednesday and you hear mic noises, deal with it.
Yeah, so it's our own personal soundboard.
Yeah. We
For our own fidgety selves, like my scratching of my hands. I know I do this a lot.
Yeah,
so bad.
Less.
Yeah.
I do it on here. See how dirty these are?
Yeah.
I
watch the podcast to just see what I do. So
Yeah.
I do this a lot. I can't stop it.
Just see what you do. Yeah. Do we have any words at the moment?
What am I supposed to do though if that's what I do? Like, I'm supposed to just hold on to
just
the
grip on for dear
life.
life.
Yeah, but then I know what I'll do. I'll do this.
Tam's told me not to play with the cord, and I'm just continuously playing with it now because I'm stressed about it. Do we have any like overused words at the moment?
Yeah.
No? Nothing that's upsetting you when you do the edits? Maybe we've finally made it.
It's like everything you do upsets me.
Just shut up. Just don't want to edit
Sick
this
of hearing
fucking
your
thing anymore.
fucking voice.
300 episodes down.
Nothing that you guys are doing, but what's pissing me off lately on YouTube is people saying as the first word of every sentence.
I know about it.
Like, they'll just pause for a bit and they'll go, anyway, or the next
Try
thing.
really, really hard. Like, I don't think we say a lot.
Mm.
I do a little bit when I check in, and I'm like, I need to stop that.
Yeah.
Because you're moving from...
I feel awkward leaving silence in check-ins. I a lot in check-ins.
Yeah, I do whatever filler word to get to the next thing.
Yeah. While the screen loads.
Try not to do that. I'm really conscious of it, but
Yeah.
I know I do it.
Yeah. I laugh at myself. I've actually started trying to vary my check-in introduction.
Bro, me too.
Hey, Jason, thanks for checking in. Looks like and then it's just like, I need
I always do
a
that.
new one.
I always do that. Like, it's that time of the week again.
Yeah.
Even Jackson, like it sent that back to me. Like, sent it back to him. I'm like, shut up.
Leave me alone.
So now I'm just like, hey, bro, check-in time. Let's start from the top and work our way down.
Yeah.
It's like, do you hate me?
I gave you fun and you teased me.
Yeah, it's just anyone listening in. Like, sometimes I think when my wife's home and I'm like, I've got to do the check-ins.
Yeah.
And it's just 40 times saying the same thing.
Yeah.
At the start, obviously.
Yeah, I do thanks for checking in, and then I say the numbers. Because you can see the graph at the top.
Yeah.
I'm like 3 and 4 this week, or 2 5s this week.
Yeah.
That's like every single check-in.
Yeah.
I can't get my head out of
it's a system.
Yeah.
And it's consistent.
It's a systematic approach.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we do things.
Repeatable.
If there's steps.
Yeah.
It's repeatable.
It's efficient.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
It's quality
Reliable.
controlled.
Yes. Reliable.
You know you're going to get that, hey, thanks for checking in next week. And the week after.
Yeah.
And the week after that.
The other hard one is like.
Yeah. That's definitely...
It's so quick.
definitely one you can do, especially when you're trying to come up with a conversation and a concept. You're like this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you're trying to prove a point. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah.
We'll try not to.
And now that's gonna mess up in your heads this whole
We'll try to
episode.
be.
So conscious of
We'll
my
try to
speech
be.
now.
Yeah, we'll try to be perfect, Tam.
Yeah.
We'll try our hardest.
No, I'm just saying you guys don't have any like words at the moment, but those are common ones. And like
Yeah. Yeah.
in general.
Definitely had some in the past. My legs have been pretty still, so life's a bit okay at the moment. The gym's open, I'm alright.
We're taking good care of it.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like we need to. So the update that we've got. Does everyone have that on the app?
Oh, yeah. You just got to refresh. You just got to delete your caches. So
Okay.
Is it caches or caches?
Oh fucking no.
I think it's cache.
Caches.
Yeah.
That resonates in my head.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw it.
Bit of salt bay on it.
Caches.
So
Caches. Yeah.
my strength book has changed the layout, so it's white, which was
We can go dark mode as well. And I like
everyone's
the dark-
complaint was that you couldn't have a white version.
Yeah. Are you white?
I am at the moment.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah,
But
just go
I
dark
have it.
mode, bottom left corner.
Oh shit.
It's 2 buttons.
Oh shit.
It's on and off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dark mode hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just,
I feel like I need to turn my monitor down when it's on white.
yeah, agreed. Yeah. And it's like, if you got the
Yeah.
white screen with the lamps,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's still
Am
shit
I-
to my brain.
My glasses are in the glasses compartment in my car that I haven't had for 2 weeks because it's at the fucking panel beats. So I'm like struggling with life
Yeah,
anyway.
Dark mode's got you covered.
All right, let's do it. But
So-
the new aesthetic,
Modern layout,
I'm about it.
improved user interface,
yeah, I'm about the new layout.
couple of extra clicks that I'm not about, but I'll deal with
The
that.
check-in part, you got to scroll.
Just a couple extra clicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a couple of things where I'm like, this
Put that back.
this didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's all right.
Design, much improved.
Yeah.
Speed.
Performance.
Good Lord.
It's
Good
coming a
Lord.
good time.
Look, we're honest on this podcast. We're like Rick Shields with golf clubs.
Yeah.
We've had Mike on. Big fan of Mike.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Platform
We have
has
been
lots of potential.
very positive
Mm.
around my strength book in general.
Mm.
We have even talked, I think, on the pod about talking to other platforms and
Yep.
maybe getting into some arguments with them.
Just let them have it.
And my strength book is still for us always come out ahead for both the programming,
Yeah.
and the check-ins.
Mhm.
From an efficiency and effectiveness standpoint, it's always been
Yeah.
the number one. The biggest complaint has always been the speed.
Yeah, performance, not it.
It's faster than me now. It's faster than my brain. My
It's-
brain's pretty fast.
Yeah. I was like, is it the performance and the gigabit internet, or is it just one or the
Well,
other?
it got better
Mm.
when I got the better internet, but it's
Well, Jess said she was on Wi-Fi at UStrong
Yeah.
HQ.
yeah, and it was flying.
UStrong HQ. do you like
Us,
that?
us,
Yeah.
us.
And she said it was fine. So
Yeah,
And apparently there's more performance upgrades coming.
it's a whole new world. The videos are still a bit slow, so I
Exactly.
wonder if that's.
Yeah, maybe.
But the videos, like I can understand that.
I would say that those videos have to be stored somewhere.
Yeah, you
And
got
it's
to
like opening up another
Yeah.
storage place.
Yeah.
Closer to home would cost a lot of money.
Yeah, you can't expect it to be.
So
fucking
there's all these moving
YouTube.
parts. Like the moving parts in the back end of that just make my hair curl. When I just dip my toes in, I was like, "Oh, this could cost a lot of money."
Yeah. Yeah, when we were like, oh, we got a quote for 50 grand. Michael's like, yeah, I think we're about
Yeah.
2 mil deep so far.
Yeah.
We we're like,
Yeah.
we'll just use yours.
Yeah.
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 Here's our fee.
At $6 a month. That's pretty good.
So shout out to them for
Yeah.
doing it. I know it's been a long process.
Yeah.
But
Dealt with it really well too. Their feedback. Like we had a couple of
Yeah.
Conversations about the performance that wouldn't be nice to hear,
Mm.
and he took it like a fucking champion,
Mhm.
which I think is awesome.
Yeah. It was all
It's
us. It was the changes that you're experiencing now in Australia was all driven by the STC community.
We just complained.
But yeah, like definitely something I'm willing to give a stamp of approval right now.
Yeah, very
It's
happy.
very good.
Oh, it's life changing. It's going to give me hours a week back
Yeah.
just from my programming. So
Yeah.
you got 12 programs to write. Like that's a day's worth of work
Yeah.
with the old performance,
Yeah.
especially if they're not You can't template them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I said to Mike, like, it'll be interesting. We're in obviously a fortunate position where it's like putting on clients is limited by time and available, like mental space to how many
Yeah, you
we
can
can
only
have.
take on so many people now. Yeah,
But improving the speed by 20%
allows you to take more on.
means you put on 20% more clients.
Yeah,
So if all of their coaches are like that one, like I know they're not, but
yeah. I ran the
it's like increase your if every coach that's like that then increases their billing by 20%.
I have a spreadsheet where it's capped at the numbers I want, and then I was like,
Upped it?
yeah, I got excited and I was like, I can do more.
Yeah,
And so I just like pulled it down.
I can take 5 more. Fuck it.
I'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. Big props though.
But yeah, makes a big difference. All of those moving parts. If everything's efficient,
Yeah.
you know, you and I don't like wasting time, especially when the time is valuable and we have to be spread.
The trap is what you do in the load times for me.
Yeah,
Like
now
you said about check-ins, like you're not picking up your phone, so we don't have time.
the holiday now was best thing because I come back and I kind of just fell in the trap. I'm like, this phone goes away.
Yeah.
If the chat gets better, which I haven't used that much yet,
Mm-hmm.
don't have to use my phone. What do you think about being able to use the app on your phone?
I'd like to have messaging.
Yeah.
If not, like I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to message my clients in the app so I could get rid of WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
But that's it. I wouldn't want to be like trying to
Yeah, programming. and all
push
that
a
shit.
program to someone and
Yeah, it almost just needs to be like a dashboard.
Yep.
Like
you could maybe add a member,
yeah,
on your phone.
yeah, just basic functions.
And then you could use the messenger.
The only thing I do sometimes is like, you know how you have to confirm the program?
Yeah.
So you hit push, then you have to click OK.
Yeah.
For the like, are you setting a reminder for this date, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget that step. And then I'll get a message from a client like, hey, my program didn't come through.
Where
And
is
I'm
it?
like, bruh, I know I did it.
Yeah.
It's like I must have just not hit OK.
Yeah.
So I'll use my phone to get in and just hit the push.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And then I guess, you know how you can like, people like show progress and stuff on Instagram?
Yeah, screenshots.
Be
and
cool
stuff.
to maybe bring up the graphs.
Yeah,
Social proof.
Yeah.
It's an easy social proof post.
agreed.
You don't have before and afters and stuff, like
Yeah.
feedback and the graphs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
use the sniper tool on Windows, bro. Print screen.
Yeah, it's too much effort.
It's way better.
Then you got to
better
like
than the
take
phone.
it. I'm just the step you got to take it to
Send
your
it
phone.
to yourself. Yeah. I agree.
I'll just pick progress photo.
I've
Well,
got
20,
enough.
2019. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've got enough. It's fine.
Do you reckon that's okay? Like,
What's up?
like recycling ones you've done in the past.
Yeah, because I'm going to start doing it.
But like, they don't always have to be relevant, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I go back and forth on that so much.
I think, I probably go back and forwards on like, I feel weird when I don't have a relationship with the client anymore.
Yeah, that's. But it's like you're not going to for all of them forever, but you did your job.
I know, yeah,
You know
I
what
get
I mean?
it.
Yeah, I do the same. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. Like,
I haven't
what if this-
spoken to that person for 2 years.
Yeah,
It
and then I'm
feels
like,
weird.
well, what if this person sees it? It's 5 years ago, and like now they're not in shape, and they get all upset, and they're like, take this down. Like
Yeah.
I just do it, like, just the
The
dialogue.
weird, yeah.
I'm like, technically, STC Fit owns the rights to this image.
Yeah, yeah, but also
Imagine
I
if you said
don't want
that
to. I don't want to be a dick.
Imagine if you said that to someone.
We own this photo shoot photo of you.
Hey, maybe it'll be enough to kick them into gear again.
Maybe they'll come back.
Yeah, maybe that's. I should have put that in another strategy of how to get leads.
Yeah, just post all of your old client results.
When they were in good shape,
Yeah.
and
Like,
they'll make. And
I
they'll
know
be
you
like,
don't look like this anymore.
let's do this again.
Fuck.
That's a strat. That could work.
We get called out for
Pretty
what do
confident.
they call it? Negative emotion marketing or something.
That's the first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So people coming for you if you
Make them feel bad.
like talk about a pain point and then solve it for them. Yeah. Because you pointing out that they feel bad is not okay.
Right.
Even if they feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you can feel, you can have a lack of confidence.
So what's
in your body,
so
but
what's
I'm not allowed
the
to tell you that you do.
So the flip side is you just talk about solving it
Maybe.
of people who don't know like you just talk about the benefit to it
Maybe.
and assume that they have it.
You're just not allowed to word it in a way that makes someone feel bad, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Good luck to you.
Yep.
Yeah. In an industry where everybody has body dysmorphia, I'm going to take the other
Let's
route.
do it.
I'm going to take the other
Let's
route.
make it fucking worse. No. How's it feel to be a gym owner?
Very, very, very surreal. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's great to see it come together. And I felt weird saying like, I was like the owner,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to say it. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'm one of the owners. Like,
Your name's in the paperwork, so technically.
yeah, but I was like, I kind of like,
Yeah.
I didn't say it with the conviction that I wanted, you
I
know?
fucking own
When I first, when I said it the first time, I was like, because, you know, they were obviously, who the fuck you? Not that way, but, you know, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm one of the owners.
Yeah.
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 Wasn't proud of the conviction of that. So
Yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was very, very, very exciting. It's a big moment.
How have you found the process?
Yeah, look, I think I said this to someone last night. It's very, very good to have a team.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's what Jess and I said when we talked about it on the pod.
Yeah.
Same.
Very, very valuable. Like, I think outside looking in, even when I've talked about business before, like every single person, and it's just, you know, maybe not understanding business. They're always like, oh, do you think you should do this stuff by yourself? Like, you think you should have done it, or you're going to do it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, obviously the potential upside working on your own
Is there?
is huge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, not like the potential upside that they look at, which is the business
Finance.
making money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you getting the money.
Yep.
But then, like, being in business for as long as I have, there's so many elements to it. Like, I just go, it's kind of nice to have a few other people in the mix.
Yeah.
Every now and then people would go, yeah, cool, it's be nice to.
Mm.
But then you got to think about everything that it takes to get to where you are. That takes a person. So you either got to hire somebody,
Yeah.
or outsource,
Yeah.
or you got to do it yourself. And yeah, I just think, and then dealing with the emotional stress and all that, and like all the shit we've had to deal with. Sometimes it's nice to just all of us come together and just lay it all out, and then you feel better.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, it was shit. It is shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the weights, like that whole scenario is just
Yeah.
crazy.
A nightmare.
But it's like we're all kind of dealing with it together, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would wonder, like, looking at it for myself, what the work that I would need to do that I don't like doing, that I'm not the best at, that other people do in the business, how much would it cost me?
Yeah.
To pay someone else to do that. But then not only that, like, I've got to know what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, Tam, for example, doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't tell him what it should look like.
Yeah,
He knows.
Yeah.
If I'm going to hire someone, I have to tell them it needs to look like this and it should do this. And it's like, but I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't even have that language.
Yeah.
So it's not just paying the contractor to come in and do it. It's having the knowledge base to ask the right questions and then hire the right person and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think if you went into business just like with someone who's like your mate, who you guys were the same,
Yeah.
I think that's when you probably could have done it on your own.
Yeah. It's
Because you
weird.
don't have roles and you don't have strengths to those roles. Like, even though, like, what did I say to Steph the other day? I'm like, you and I have the same values, but we're different.
Yeah.
So we don't have the same skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have the same values.
Yeah.
So that's why you and I, like, get along,
Yeah.
but we're so different.
Mm.
But it's like, if I was the same as you or you were the same as me, it's like, what's the point of having another
Why are
one
we
of
sharing
me?
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we still share some of the responsibilities and the burden and stuff, but you're still way better than me at certain things, and go vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's where it's
And the times where business was the shittest, not the shittest, but like
the hardest.
least efficient was when we just divvied the jobs
Mm.
by workload.
50, just like 50-50.
You have 10 trainers, I have 10 trainers. It's like, it was stupid.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you and I didn't know what we were really good at just yet.
We
either.
hadn't found it, yeah.
You know, and then it was like, these are the things that we need doing, and then we kind of just were like, well, you're better at this than I am. And then, but we also like got people around us. Like Michael's great at his job, Tam's amazing at his job too.
Yep.
And then like Jess is the best at her job and the best that we've had in her position as well.
Yeah. And a missing piece of the puzzle we didn't realize we missed.
Yeah, we didn't.
From a networking.
Yeah. Didn't know how good until we had it, and we're like, oh wait.
Yeah.
This is what it's like.
Yeah. It's like the person. People say the face of the business, but it's almost like the frontward personality of the business. Is still heavily us, but like, man, she adds a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that work. That's where it's like benefits of the team.
Yeah.
And I feel like the gym's a cultivation of that.
Yeah.
So but it was very rewarding. Like, you guys know the story. It's like, I wanted to own a gym. I've always wanted to own a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a cool thing to tick off.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary and all that kind of stuff. And you throw it out there, you have a dream, and, sometimes it may not work out.
Yeah.
But it's still cool to get yourself in a position to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I found rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard to get yourself to that position, I think. To have a dream, know that it's not something where you can just go to work, come home, and it doesn't matter how you show up, you still get the same.
Yeah.
You work your way up, you take the risks, you tried before and it didn't work out and it knocked the wind out of your sails to the point where you were questioning whether you were going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Awkward conversations with us, arguing, conflicting directions, to then go to be here.
Yeah.
And then have all the other cool stuff happening along the way. It was cool to reflect on. The Sliff was like, we should celebrate. And I said to you, I'm like, what? Why? She's like, this is a big fucking deal for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It is.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I accidentally got so fucking drunk.
I love that for you. I was thinking about you when we were out, man. I had a really nice spicy mug, and I was like, fuck, man. Like, I wish Ben was here. And, because I know that that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, we'll save it for another time.
Yeah. So at least like LJ started like sleeping on the bed by himself, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, like Amy can come out.
Freedom.
We can hang a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously Mads was down. So I poured myself a cognac in a cognac glass.
Yeah.
And like, I obviously was just looking down, not lateral at the glass.
Yeah.
So I just poured to what I thought was the bit where it's supposed to go to. And then I picked it up and I was like, that's 3 of those.
That's a home standard drink. The standard drink of a parent with a newborn child.
And look, it was a Remy 12 and it was not terrible. And every sip got a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then, it was like, well, there's no cars on because it was just raining at Spa. And I turned around. Amy looks at me. She goes, "You're fucked." I'm like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, boy.
Yes, I am. But yeah, it's a cool feeling. The wildest thing happened the night before. So I wasn't sure whether we had a whiteboard on site or not.
Yeah.
I thought there was one, but I wasn't 100% sure. I hadn't heard back from Laura.
Was that the one?
The one we had there ended up being from...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I had my whiteboard in the office. I was like, I'll clean it down. Turned out it didn't fit in the car the next day anyway. But I cleaned it all down. I turned it around, and I reckon I was still in Essendon when I wrote like the mind map of STC. So that's 2019. It was 5 years ago. And it just had STC at the top. It had Fit and Learn, which existed, but Standout had only just launched.
Yeah.
Then it had Allied, which we've done.
Yep.
Then it had a gym, which we were ticking off the next day. And there was something else. Like Fit had like nutrition, which we'd never had. Learn had like Standout and coaches, which we have. The media, so podcasts and all that, which we have. None of that was happening at the time.
Yeah.
The only thing we didn't have on there was software.
Yeah.
Because as we just said, it's
it's
ludicrously expensive.
not worth the pursuit at the moment.
And finance. Because the logistics of...
Yeah.
Our goal was to bring in a finance team to be able to help other personal trainers, the finance stuff. Because this was the process of the first gym. Like get money and all that kind of shit. So we were like, we need to be able to help other people do this.
Yeah.
So that we took that off more from like a legality, just how do you manage trail and
Murky waters, man.
all of that shit. It's
Yeah.
like it's getting a bit too far. Because even like we wanted accountants and whatever, like be a one-stop shop for personal trainer, it just didn't really work. But yeah, so it was probably like 80%. So it probably went from 30 at the time to 80%, and then I looked at all the 20% and was like, we don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, from a coach's perspective, when you write your perfect week.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to do that?
Yeah.
So you had your week and you're like, what do you want it to be? And then
It's there.
6 months later you're there and then you're like, all right, well, it's the even more perfect week, And
More.
then you're like, this many online clients, this many.
Yeah.
And then, 6 months later and then now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a cool practice to do.
How long now since like we had that the conversation that we didn't really have? We just looked
We
at each other.
were driving together and
Yeah.
where were we? We went away for the weekend, didn't we?
I actually remember it driving away from my house. Maybe we'll go and golf or something.
It was somewhere where it was like,
We're in the Merc near my house.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
green,
Yeah.
lots of green. And we're both just like, I'm done
Yeah.
if this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know when, and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, maybe like 2021, I reckon.
Yeah, we're just talking. I think we're just talking about work and life, and I think we were like, that's when we did the reshuffle, like we had the staff changeover,
Yeah.
and then we were just like,
Yeah, that rebuild hurt.
and then like,
Yeah.
I think we're both like, this is the last time,
Mm-hmm.
because this time we rebuilt
You
it.
said 3 years.
I know. I said I thought about that myself. I was like, I told you, and you were like, I can't wait that long.
It took us 3 years to do it, so it'll take 3 years to...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I know. I did think of that.
Fuck.
I said I'll give myself 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look. Would I have literally given myself 3 years? Probably not.
We just did different. The part of the business we were referring to then, we achieved other stuff within 6 months.
Yeah,
Just took 3 years for that thing to...
to get the gym back.
Yeah.
Get the gym back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that rebuild was the last time, and because we didn't know what we were fucking doing.
Doesn't sound like us at all. Anyway, go to stcfit.com/standoutpt.
At the time, when we first started, when the business kicked off, it was just like we're playing catch up. We had no idea. So
Yeah.
that's why, you and I split the roles and was 50-50 on the work. There was no distribution of roles and who was to do what. There was no boundaries at all. And then the business was built off of that. And then until we fully like had the staff turnover and hit the bottom, with the pandemic and everything, everything was a reaction to the old setup.
Yeah.
So then we were like, right, well, can't get any fucking worse than this unless the three of us leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's build it the way that we want to.
Yeah.
And then if and when people move on,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. We just bring in,
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah.
So a real, hero story.
Yeah.
Defeated, and we'll come back for vengeance.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to have the core unit, like even just TAMS, like looking at the content of where we started.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting memories
It's so bad.
of like old podcasts and shit. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, even the gym clips and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool, really cool feather in the cap.
Yeah.
Really enjoying not the pressure, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously having a third party involved.
Yeah.
Like Laura's incredible to deal with. Communication is amazing, level-headed, calm, direct, like just us.
Yep.
So that's been good, but there's just this imposed pressure of like someone else is involved in this project.
Yeah, you gotta deliver.
If I fuck this up, it's not just
Yeah, you gotta deliver.
us, it's not just time, it's like there's...
Got your name and your reputation.
Yeah,
to it
when
as
you
well.
fuck around online, it's like, oh no, we lost 6 months.
Yeah.
Fuck around with a gym fit out, it's like, there's a lot of money on the line there.
Yeah, I agree.
Outside of that, Even Jess said yesterday when we got off the call, she's like, sometimes I come into these calls like terrified and overwhelmed. Every time I leave them, I'm like, oh, okay. Like we can do this, or I've got this, or whatever. Just like little tweaks every week. I'm really enjoying the problem solving
Part of it.
side of it. Like it's real fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Like yesterday, it was like we've been getting almost no one. We've got no one on the 3 sessions. I was like, okay, this is how we're going to do the sales presentation now. At first one.
3.
Yeah. Like, okay.
It's like PT all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even also like having the skill set to do that too.
Oh, of course.
Because you have it from PT and just be like, it's
the same.
It's transferable.
Max said that to us, remember?
Yeah.
It's like PT.
Yeah.
Solving problems, delivering outcomes.
It's like, yeah. Present
Business is business, man.
3 with coaching, so it's expensive.
Yeah.
And tell them to do 3 without coaching. So it's not as expensive.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
So push back, downsell. Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, it helps when you got a good belief in your product, a good belief in the culture, a good belief in all of that, you know, because we're going into like, how do I put this? We're going into uncharted territory of navigating a gym, but we're not going into uncharted territory of navigating a business and doing something that we know we're good at.
Yeah, service.
So the value, you're not going into the training sessions, or we're not designing the product or the service going like, oh, I think this will be good. You know, like we're like, this is good.
Yeah.
You know, we've done this for so long.
Yeah.
You know, so that part of it does help with the pressure.
It's like what you would want to do in a big box gym, but you don't have the space.
Yeah. Yeah. And then because we've done it so much time though, like that's
polished.
just yeah, and there's just so much
polished.
conviction and confidence with that.
Yeah. That was my favorite part, I think, of the whole day, just watching Jess.
Yeah,
That first 5
watching
minutes.
you guys training, especially that first session, was cool because it was like that was the best example of
it was
what the
pumped.
class is going to be like. It was pumped. It was exactly the people, like half of them were members or to be members. So it was like that. That was like, this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah, and someone that like was squatting to a bench to someone that can squat
with a bar
120 at 60 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, it was a cool demonstration for sure.
Yeah. I had someone come in to check out the gym, which I thought was cool too. Like, you know, they just come to check it out. They're like, oh, I just heard of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
And then, when they asked, because it was the final session.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the friends and they were squatting and pressing heavy weight. And the lady was like, oh, do you cater for everyone? And I said, if you were here an hour ago, I said, you would have saw someone squatting to a bench, someone squatting with a bar on their back, someone squatting with dumbbells either side of them. So I said, the training system we have caters that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get what you need based on your capacity to train the way you need to train to get the results you want. She was like, oh, she was just so excited once. She's like, all right, this is good.
This is a place.
Yeah, especially coming from said group fitness chain where there's just too many people in the class and it's hard to control the people.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we fill the gap between that and that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was real excited about it. I was like, this is good.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Happy with the layout. Everything worked.
Yeah.
All the systems now, I think, are like pretty seamless from a inquiry to sign up to first class kind of process is almost done.
Yeah.
So few tiny little things to iron out, but even just like trying yesterday, like the problem solving stuff, like trying to get people to book in a free class. It was like, oh, they've got to download an app, they've got to do this, they've got to do this. And it's just like, oh, we can book them through the marketing system like this.
Yeah.
And it went from a 15-minute job to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's...
Yeah, huge problem to solve too.
Yeah. Because it's going to be really important.
Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like it's funny. We mentioned, I think last week, or you and I just had a discussion. It's like the older you get, that you have to manage your emotions.
Yeah.
So I think that was part of the pushback for me to like go out and fully celebrate. You know, that's this huge kind of thing. Because I'm like, so many things have happened in the past. There's so many things to do ahead. There's highs, there's lows. It's like keep yourself neutral. Have the time to enjoy yourself and, you know, be proud.
Yeah.
And then just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then send it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just maturity. But who knows?
Maturity and experience. So you've been there enough times to Take your
Because
moment internally and have it, and then
Yeah. Because it's still a mountain to climb. Like not
we're not
like
done.
I'm not just not looking to the right where there's this huge hill,
Yeah.
mountain to overcome. Like
Yeah, we're not sold out.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, but we're just ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So, segue.
Yep.
Quick break in the episode, guys. I just want to ask you one question. Are you running a business or are you working a job? Running a business means thinking like a business owner, having systems that do all the grindy work for you, a service that's guaranteed to get your clients results, social media and referrals that are driving business to you, and getting leads that you always close. If instead you feel like you're lost, you're stuck, you're at the mercy of your clients, you're just working another job. If that's you, you need to check out Standout PT. It's our signature education program, a 26-week online course designed to take you from working a job to actually running a business. The average coach that goes through Standout PT and completes all the modules gets a 300% increase in revenue inside their business. We have weekly workshops, weekly Q&As, and over 30 units for you to go through, all with text and video to make sure you're totally covered for everything you need in your business. Just head to stcfit.com, navigate to the Standout PT page, and book yourself a free, no obligation discovery call and see if Standout PT is right for you. Back to the show. Yesterday, in the workshop, opening question was write down 10 issues that you have in your business.
Yep.
First, we're going to go through that exercise, and then I want to talk about a couple specific that stood out to me and why. There's another question we ask in it that's really important. That I don't know if you were working or listening, but just
I was doing so much work.
Yeah, people's goals and just what they think they need to do is just wild. So basically the idea behind this exercise is you write down 10 issues that you have in your business right now, which most people never actually take the time to do. Like, when was the last time? Most people don't even track their business.
Yeah, it's true.
Let alone actually take a step back and be like, these 10 things are shit. And we do it all the time off data.
The tracker does allow you to be more deliberate.
Yeah, so like for us, was it last week? We were like, we think we have a retention problem.
Yeah.
And then we went back through the data and we're like, we don't, but we thought about it. So what can we do to make retention better?
Yeah.
And improved a few things anyway.
Yep.
So I think just going through the process of identifying what they are probably puts you ahead of most people. Gives you a competitive advantage just to be like, stop, what's actually wrong?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to just be stressed.
Yeah.
Or not stressed when you should be.
I don't know which one's worse.
So once you'd written down the 10, we then went through and were like, why? Why is it a problem? And the goal was actually to try and be a bit of a trap. Because obviously in the workshop, we talk about the growth and ownership mindset. And I wanted people to write like, I don't have enough clients because the cost of living is too high.
Or the gym.
The PT manager doesn't give me leads and all that kind of shit. But when you're in an environment like that in a workshop, you're less likely to do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't sit down and write it, that's probably what you walk around thinking. It's just slow at the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone's struggling. Just like that shit.
Yeah.
Which we're guilty of as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
Then actually wanted people to push one more level. So let's say like, what's one of the main issues you have in your business? I'm not getting enough leads. Okay. Why? I'm not posting on social media. Why? And it's that third one that actually makes a difference. And it's not like, because I don't have enough time or whatever. It's like, why?
There's something holding you back.
Yeah, and if it's a persistent, like we just had it just then. We literally just had that conversation, you and I, of like, I know that my content hasn't been as consistent because I ran a system. It was fucking awesome, but it was quite time consuming. And then I decided, well, if I can't do that, it's not worth it. Yeah. So I'd just be like, oh, fuck, I'll get that campaign done and I'll start again Wednesday. And then it becomes next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So let's say it's content. You're not getting enough leads because you're not posting enough content. Why aren't you posting the content? 9 times out of 10, it's because you're scared of what other coaches are going to think of your content.
Yeah. Yeah.
So until you get to that, you just stay stressed about leads. There's no solution. There's no way to, whether it's growth or ownership, mindset, whatever, you don't actually have the ability to get to the core problem, which is you're scared.
Mm.
And if you don't deal with being scared, you'll just stay stressed about not having leads.
Yeah.
So that was obviously the idea of the setup. So I would recommend, if you're listening to this, at some point, 10 problems, why they exist, and then why that symptoms is occurring.
Mm.
From your own behavior, thoughts, whatever it is. Do you have any labels that you catch yourself with at the moment? Or even just ones you've had in the past?
I don't know any in particular, but there's a couple of times where it's like if I've had to do something, or I think maybe the only time was, and again, I can't give specifics, was when I had to fill in for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I can't do said task. Like,
Yeah.
I think I had to do a few consults to stand out, and I was like, I'll do them.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm not as good at this.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not.
Yeah.
Like the person.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I don't have the language.
You're not that guy.
Yeah. So there's been instances, and then I guess you don't put the runs on the board. It does affirm that internal dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, what's the likelihood of you putting yourself back in that position if you're not aware of catching yourself with those thoughts? And that's why people don't post on social media. It's like they've done one or two throwaway posts and they don't get the traction that they think they should get. So then the internal dialogue is like, well, you're right.
Yeah.
To think that way.
Yeah.
Because you did that post. And so it's the same for me. It's like if I'm like, oh, well, I'm not the salesperson of the business.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't my wheelhouse. I'm not the best at it.
Yep.
And then I sit in the chair and do the sales call and don't get the sale. I'm like,
fired.
You know what, Jason? It's fine because this is not your role. But it's like that shouldn't prevent you from doing it again.
Yeah.
And trying and getting better and, all of that stuff. So, yeah, that's probably the only example I can give right now. But, yeah, definitely have those thoughts. I think we can catch ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, and going back to the team thing, that's one strength that we have is like those conversations. Because we're naturally set into trying to growth and ownership all the time.
Mm.
We're looking to get down to that. When you and I have a conversation, we're looking to get there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like the social media thing. It would have been easy for me to just be like, oh, I just like didn't really care about it until UStrong was live.
Yeah, and then I could have just left it at like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think inherently, like, we both just try and unpack it for the other person, though.
Yeah.
Like, even in the meeting, when you were like, oh, the CDA is going to be shit. And I was just like, oh, there's templates there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I just said it.
Yeah.
You know? And even then, I was just like, oh, you could do this.
Yeah.
I think we just have that practice after so many years of doing it.
Yeah. And knowing that the other person's response is always favorable.
Yeah. You're not going to sit there with if that was the wrong person to do that to, they'll tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just won't take it on.
I've been doing this. Like, yeah, I don't have fucking time for that.
Yeah. Or just like, no eye contact. And it's like, just throw away. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, bodybuilding's more difficult than powerlifting, whatever. Like, But yeah, if you've got to both be on the same level. Like,
yeah.
So if you've got business partners, if you've got a group of people, if you've got a team, like, you have to make that the culture.
Yeah. There's something that's real interesting. Maddie asked me on the way home from the gym. It's like, how did you and Jace meet? I was like, oh, it's like same story. My first PT, trained together. Eventually we did some workshops together. Then I was like, hey, here's my yellow card at the pub.
Yeah.
We'll come do STC together. But just sort of saying, like, we weren't, not that we weren't friends, but we weren't close.
Yeah.
It was just like, we complement each other and work really well together.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this thing? We didn't hang out socially a lot.
No.
Which is like, I don't know how many people go into business that way.
Yeah. I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you should find people that aren't you and that you can have hard conversations with. Like, we're friends now, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we are, just letting you know. Sometimes you might
still check on those text messages.
Sometimes when outside of text messages, I do love you, bro. wonder if you go in, like, I just look at, a mate at the time, if like we went into business together, it's like hard conversations aren't going to happen. It's probably no different to like moving in with your mate. It's like, it's fun until it's not. It's good until it's not. And then when you have to have those hard conversations, that relationship gets fractured.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you come into it with like two entities that are like there to do specific roles, who have the same vision, those things are normal conversations.
Yeah.
Like sometimes in the past, that's just like, are you guys cool with the way you talk to each other?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I think
Fuck,
so.
I've never even thought that.
Yeah,
it's
like
wild.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, because this is how it has to happen.
Yeah.
The said problem arises, said person's responsible for it. This is what needs to be done. This is what we should try this. Like, that's it. Where if you're mates, you kind of like maybe tiptoe around it. I don't know. So now we're friends, but we have the professional relationship built before that.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult to have conversations where it's like, hey man, like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Do you have those level of conversations outside work?
About work?
With friends?
No. Only because so like, are you talking about like solving things for people?
Yeah.
Or like doing things that are mentioning things?
Are you the guy to say the hard thing?
I will, if the opportunity arises, I won't hesitate. I just won't bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and just like find an issue and be like, you know what, man, like I feel like you could do this. But if someone's like, oh, I'm thinking of changing careers, I'm the one to go hardest on that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, when are you going to do it? What's the benefit to it? When's it going to happen?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like, or if like a mate has a problem, it's real easy to get emotionally invested and on that person's side and not think about what's best for them, irrespective of their feelings.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you have every right to be emotional. However,
you
need to start to consider your next move.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been instances with that, with kids and relationships and all that. And I'm just like, I don't think I'm against you because I'm not dealing with things like these guys are. Like, I'm getting angry for you. But I'm like, you need to think about yourself right now. And I said, you have every right to be upset, but now we need to think about what's best.
Yeah. What's the actions?
How to solve the problem, which is I inherently always go to.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
My wife hates it. So, hey, listen.
Yeah.
I need to solve this problem, woman.
Yeah.
So you don't have to whinge to me.
Do you want me to listen right now or solve? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So one thing that stood out, maybe it shouldn't be surprising to me because it's what we market in terms of like a core pillar of Standout PT is systems. But it was like maybe I always expect social media to be number one. I think systems was equal.
As in the problems that people...
Yeah. People are just like, I don't have systems for whatever.
I'm not surprised at that at all, man. Like, you don't get taught...
Do you know what I'm surprised at?
Systems.
It's not that they don't have them, that they're aware.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what I think was the most surprising to me.
I think most of the people that come into our course are aware that they don't have systems.
That's a problem. Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest pain points.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm running shit. It's all inconsistent. I've got people. I don't know where to start. I'm just working inside the business. I need to work on it. But if I work on it, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then we just lay it out.
It's one of the biggest knowledge gap ones too, right? Because you don't know what you've never seen.
Yeah, and you don't know how to think systematically. Like, so, I have this internal dialogue where I go back and forth on how to explain this. People think there's like a magical system.
Yeah.
When it comes to business systems.
Yeah.
Or any system, right? You think about it like my hypertrophy system.
Yeah.
Right? When realistically, it's a mentality or an approach to unpack a sequence of things to do.
Yeah.
All in a row.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think about the UStrong Open Day.
Yeah.
We were sitting at the bench and it was like, oh, there's all these things that have to happen and there's all these people responsible. And then I was like, I need you to talk me through, like, I get out of the car and walk in.
Yeah.
How's it going to go?
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, you're at the front. We need to book him into a class. Jess is going to be doing the class today. We need him next week, whatever. And then we just work step by step. And then we come up with this, like, really efficient
offer,
thing to do.
Yeah.
Had the sign-in sheet, had the classes there at the table.
Yeah.
And that's from a mentality of systematic thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can sit there and like people go, "Oh, I need systems." Yes, you do.
Mm.
But the way you build systems is to think about how to put a system together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the system is built on the ability to repeat the process, not on how good the process is.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like, I agree.
Because even if it's an inefficient system repeated, that's better than
something
random.
Well, you can identify what's not good in it.
Yeah.
Where if you don't have a system, so when I think someone who needs systems, that's like someone books in for a call, they don't have like a booking system. Sometimes they write it on their hand. Sometimes it goes into their diary. Sometimes they have an automated booking system. Then when they sit down for a consult, they don't always have the questionnaire. There's no set sequence to like how the questionnaire gets asked, what they do afterwards, even how they present. Sometimes they just sit there like, you want to do PT or?
Yeah.
And then there's no, set presentation sequence. So that's what I think when someone doesn't have systems.
Yeah.
And we just lay out like how to put a system together.
Yeah.
And then you're in a really good position. And the more times you do it, then you think systematically. Then you can solve nearly any problem.
Yeah.
Because imagine, this is obviously a big gas up for standout, but everything overlaps. And when you think systematically and you do what people don't do and assess the data, and then you work on those big problems, all of that stuff becomes easier to fix.
Correct.
Because you go, right, data suggests that this is a problem. So now I know the problem. What system can I employ? Or I have a system of identifying problems. So there's one system. Yeah. And then you have another system of like how I can fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Identify the problem. Write out, why. Get over my bullshit. What's the step to improving it? Boom, 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 boom. There goes the anxiety of not knowing what to do. It doesn't go over the anxiety of not having the outcome.
Yep.
Because you still haven't got what you wanted, but you got over the anxiety of not knowing how fucked up the business is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than being helpless.
Yeah, just walking around not knowing what to do.
Yeah, it's like, I need clients.
It's like watching the squat. It's like, no, that's not right. I can't fix it.
Yeah, put your heels up.
Yeah. Chest up. Chest up. Deeper.
Yeah.
Chest up. Yeah. And that's literally what PTs are doing, right? It's just like, just like, I need more leads. I need more leads. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and then they'll get to a point. So if you're somebody who's working with enough people, they will get to a point where you just look and go, this is fucked and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Like every single person, like even now, if you guys can ask yourselves, does 100% of your books get the exact same procedure of everything? How you talk to them, how you deliver a program, how you onboard them, what they can get access to. If your clients don't get 100% the same way, it's like you have a problem.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants more. But when you get more and you don't have that, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
The service gets worse, your retention gets worse because your results are worse and we're not as effective. But everyone likes the idea of more clients, but we like the idea of making sure that you can sustain the current level that you have and bring more on, and then everything is really consistent. Yeah. It's better for the coach, it's better for the client, it's better for the business.
Yeah. So one of the best ways I think we've communicated people starting with this systematic mindset is like doing the client walkthrough. It's like, okay, what happens when I get a phone call? When I book, when I do the consult, when I do the sales presentation, when I sign the DEDR, when I get onboarded, when I get my welcome message, when I do my first check-in, what's the system for all of that? Like, what happens? Like, well, okay, so when I book a call, the last 5 people have got 5 different things. Okay, so that needs to change.
Yeah.
Bang. That's fixed. Next thing, okay, so they're booked in, they come to the consult, every single person's got a different consult procedure. Okay, I need a consult procedure.
Yeah.
Fix it. And that's number 1. Then you can start applying that to, like you said, everywhere in your business. So we ran a random open day. We've never done an open day before. Never ran anything like what we just did.
Yeah.
Yes, we've run events, but nothing like what we just did. How did we run it so seamlessly? We literally did, what's the client experience?
Yeah.
What's the outcome we want? We need them to book in next week for a membership. Because we went, well, we want them to sign up was the first question. Then we went, can we do that in 5 minutes between classes. If potentially we've got 7, 8, 9, 10 people in a class.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to lose people if we do that. Okay, take a step back. Now the goal is book them in for next week. Awesome. How do we get them there? Well, we need them to fill out something if they step in the door. How do we do that? Let's put a dress table there.
Yeah.
Let's put a form there. Let's put a person there. Yeah. And just like work through the client experience with our outcome in mind and do those two things at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how you create the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder, like, I think then the knowledge gap part is just exposure.
Yeah.
Like we had one of the people in Standout was like, oh, I feel like I'm not able to see solutions to the problems that I have. She's been PT before and coming back. It's like you can't know everything.
Yeah.
She's like, I was annoyed that I came to Q&A to fix this problem. It's like, no, but you did. You did.
Yeah.
And like we don't just...
Yeah, sometimes there's problems there that you're not 100% aware of until someone asks a question.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you fix it.
Oh, and that the strong suit is in that was like there was early drop-offs. No, it was people pushing back.
Yeah, the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, like not buying in, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, at least you identified it's a thing. And you didn't say, I need better clients.
Yeah.
And just push it away and be like, it's the client's problem.
Yeah, and had something to go straight away and fix it.
Yeah.
Or work towards fixing it.
Yeah, and they just came and asked the question to fill the knowledge gap of, have you seen this before and what worked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, so just to further support that person and other people that feel that way, there's so many plates spinning at the once. Like I was trying to put like this infographic with all these puzzle pieces of a puzzle. It's like running a business. All I could do is put areas. And even then, it was like 6 areas.
Yeah.
And I was like, the amount of things that get done under those areas, like you throw marketing and sales together, how many things is done under marketing and sales?
Yeah.
And then I just put like...
easy words to say.
Absolutely. And then I put servicing your clients.
Yeah.
Man, what did I say? Like 40 things that a coach does to service their clients. So when someone comes and feels frustrated that they forgot or didn't realize that was a problem, like you guys don't understand how much stuff you have to do. And we haven't even talked about like content creation, social media. Like, I mean, it's under marketing, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even admin, just
correct,
tracking, data reviews, all that shit.
Yeah, so you can't get frustrated if like you're like, oh, I was so glaringly in my face. Yeah, because you're spread. You know, so that's where having that environment and opportunity to talk those things out with people sometimes is exactly what you need to fix it or identify a problem and solve it. Yeah. So everyone needs to come to Standout PT Q&A.
Yeah. DMS, you can come once for free.
Yeah,
once. Then it's
get
$1
your
million.
Free pass. Get your free pass. Sign up for a free pass. Everything's just based on the gym one.
Yeah, I like it. All right, I have other things. If you see... Now this question didn't come from a bodybuilder. If you see a movement imbalance in a client, how much attention do you pay to it? What's your system?
A movement imbalance is pretty important.
So I'm thinking like maybe you've got a hip shift, maybe you've got like one shoulder's all jacked up, or
I think you try and investigate the problem. You can't just let it slide.
Yeah,
you know that's going to create more problems in the future, and sometimes they're permanent, which we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
was it Sean?
Yeah,
yeah. So that's permanent. He's got one leg shorter than the other. So you know.
So context for that, I had a client. Literally, I think it's a full inch.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Shorter, and because of it, I was like, okay, do we try and balance that out? Like, what happens? I put the thin 10-kilo plate underneath him. He fell over. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's not do
Spent your whole life that way.
Adapting
like
to it.
Pretty... I'm sure he's pretty good now.
Efficient
moving his body.
Yeah.
So you've got to probably consider that. And then if it's not a structural limitation or structural, imbalance that's, fixed, I guess we'll call it. you need to then go, well, work up the chain or down the chain on why it could potentially exist.
Yeah.
So is that what you wanted the answer?
Yeah. My client, a client of ours asked, like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah. So you work up and down the chain. That's where, like, you know, knowing assessments is great. So, like, you know, you can sit there and, like, ragging on, like, the overhead squat and all that kind of stuff that people, like, these assessments are set up, like, for people to basically fail because, you know, not everyone is going to be able to do said assessment.
Yeah.
But if you know how to assess the, you know, capacity of a joint and what is an acceptable kind of range of motion, and even in this instance, what's the other side look like?
Yeah.
You know, because if you look at someone's like hip internal and external rotation, you're going to look at both and go, and there's going to be a significant difference from one to the other. And you're like, okay, well, you failed the, you know, let's say external rotation test for the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And then you go and do like the Thomas test and see what their hip flexion and stuff's like. It's like, oh, okay, it's not that great. And all the extension tests. So you're like, okay, limited extension of the hip and limited, you know, external rotation. So like, all right, we've got two things to work with here now.
Yeah.
What would potentially solve those problems?
Mhm.
You know, some form of single leg exercise, maybe working on, you know, warming up or activating tissues in those particular areas in certain positions. And then you go from there. The only consideration on top of that is like, how bad is it? Because then you may just be better off getting it looked at from someone else, especially if there's presence of pain and discomfort.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... had this question from a client yesterday who always sends their squats from the same angle, just the way the gym's set up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your squats are just the prettiest squats ever.
Yeah.
They're stupid. Like, I laugh at them every week.
Yeah.
And then the gym had just put mirrors up. She's like, I got this big hip shift. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, I can't see it in the video. She's like, do you want videos? I'm like, we need to have a look.
Absolutely.
But, like, the school of thought is usually, unless it looks out of control, if there's no pain, as you were, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on the task, I guess.
And then it's like, is it going to become an issue over time if we keep having this rotation at the bottom of the squat? The irony is like, she's had back pain for 3 years, and the first time she doesn't is right now.
Yeah.
But there's a hip shift. So it's like, do we chase it? You know what I mean?
Do we investigate?
And being an online client too, it's like I can't get in there and do the test, so it's more than likely just go get your hips looked at overall and just see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can just work up the chain, like hip shift sometimes comes from the ankle.
Yeah.
My ankles are fucking concrete, so to make up that range, like my body will do
Just
whatever
finding
to get the range. So
Yeah.
you can. It just takes more time, and it works. It depends on who you're working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it depends on the task.
Mm-hmm.
So the task is just squat the weight up.
Yeah.
If it's in absence of pain.
Yeah. And it's progressing.
Potentially.
And all of those
Yeah,
things.
I think it just depends on the variance of the shift. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they're fucking swaying doing the fucking sandbar.
Which you would see laterally.
Correct.
I would imagine. Like, if I can't see it side on, it's not extreme.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not losing side on, you're not losing tension anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like it seems.
Yeah. And then if it's visibly noticeable in their musculature,
Which is not.
then it's also an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think that being in the online space so much, I'm really relying on referring out now.
Absolutely.
Because it's just like, I can't.
Yeah. It's better. It's safer anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like a sweet spot of knowledge that you've been doing things long enough that you could do a test, maybe adjust a program based on what you're seeing. There's like, it's so much knowledge / time in the game / experience / whatever that you can try things and they do make a difference. And then before that, it's like refer out, get that information, learn it. Next time you see the same problem, we tried this. Okay, that still didn't work. Now refer out. It's like you're building that.
It's like how quickly can you get to the end outcome doing it yourself or just getting them to go see somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
The hardest part's getting them to see the right person.
Well,
yeah, it's like, oh, take a week off training, fucking don't squat for a month. I'm like, sure, bro.
Fuck off.
Yeah. I had someone say like they needed to have 13 days off. And I was like, why 13? So
Because it was Tuesday.
yeah,
So they could start on Monday again.
I was like, what do you mean?
That's fucking
It's like,
weird.
why? Like, what's that going to do?
I'm sure there's some
Magical
like
amount of
information cycle or some shit.
I don't
that they
know. It's
base
such
that
a
off.
strange thing. It's
It's
like
so
no
random.
training at all for 14 days. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
fair. I was like, and I just wrote, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
Just so that, not saying it's wrong.
But I disagree.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then coming back to the workshop yesterday, one of the questions we have been asking lately, which is an absolute trap, and I'm a dog for doing it. But just like, what would you do with your business if you were given $1 million?
Yeah.
Just like dropped $1 million in your business account. What would you do?
Buy a company car, GT3.
And that's it. 2 of them done.
Yeah.
And just identifying what people think they should do.
Yeah.
Versus
What they want to do.
what they really give a shit about.
Yeah, what they want to do, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's an easy way to see if you're on the right path between your thoughts and actions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we've spoken about this in different levels. Like, you go to the gym and you see the busy trainer and he has trainers, and you don't get to see any other progressions in your fitness career. That is the only thing you think of as your next progression.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to duplicate that.
Mm-hmm.
Then say another trainer comes in and he is an online coach who's hybrid. So now you have another trainer going, oh, okay, I've got options.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to choose. Then you have another trainer come in who's got trainers.
Yeah.
So then it sways back.
Yeah.
So you really only, like, a lot of people, what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of people set their goals based on what they see
Around them.
and what they know.
Yeah.
And it's, I need to go online, I need to own a gym, I need to do this, whatever. And sometimes the going online thing sounds good, passive. They think the income's passive.
Yeah.
It's, you kind of have to work for it.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to get it.
Do you think that's the biggest lie of online?
Absolutely.
It's not passive.
It's not passive. Passive means you've done it once and you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
Passive is like if you have a rental property, that's passive. Like
I
the
think-
money coming in is passive. You literally, there's no effort outside of earning, like
Do you think
buying.
face-to-face is more passive than online?
I don't know if it doesn't technically count as passive because you have to be there.
Yeah.
But
But
people,
in terms of input per week, to maintain $2,000 a week.
I think to maintain the clientele, it's much easier personally, but I know
yeah.
that's rich because people think that we're dejected from
Yeah,
life as a
But
face-to-face coach.
we did it for 9 years.
It was much easier to get face-to-face clients and keep them than it is to get
yeah, I
online
think
clients and keep.
minute,
Maybe not keep them, but
if you use like minute of input and emotional input, sustaining a $2,000 face-to-face business versus a $2,000 online business.
Maintain the face-to-face one's way easier.
Yeah, so in theory that makes it more closer to passive.
Yeah,
because it's less
yeah.
effort, right?
Yeah, it's just but even then, it's like it's the definition, right? It's like passive is like the
you
app.
do nothing.
The app is passive.
Yeah.
So people just sign up and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And then you just get money.
Yeah.
It's passive income is blue chip shares. You
Yeah.
get a envelope in the mail with money. You
Yeah.
know, that's online coaching is not passive. So maybe that starts to because of that mindset, everything else beyond that, which is what's needed to be done, is contradicting to what they think it is, and that's why they struggle so much. So there you go. I've just solved everyone's problem.
Okay.
So
So
their idea of what online coaching is and
online
what's-
coaching should be easy. So the idea of spending 10 hours a week on content, resource production, etc.
Yeah.
is too high friction because this is supposed to be easy and passive.
Yeah, it's kind of like for a real bad example, like the squat and the hack squat thing. It's like they're both hard.
Yeah.
They're just different hards.
Yeah.
Like this one's fatiguing differently to this one's fatiguing differently if you give it all you got.
Yeah.
Online coaching is the same. It's harder in a different area. It's
Yeah.
not you have to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to motivate your client to train at 5. You've got to show everybody on the internet that you're good at your job, you get results, and you can help them. And then you've got to engage in a way for that person to engage with you to book an appointment or to sign up to your program.
Yeah.
That takes repeated effort over time. Where in the gym, it's more immediate.
Yeah.
You go to the gym, you have authority, you have the uniform, you have the ability to get opportunities to sit down with
Talk to
people. The gym pushes you leads sometimes, and you have more of a concentrated area to work.
Yeah.
So they're just thinking of the fact that if I don't have to physically be there, then it's passive.
Yep.
Which I would argue it's not, because you still have to check in with this person, show up, message them, ensure they're doing all the stuff, plan, program. Yeah, sure, like the time per se is maybe
more flexible,
spread out and flexible.
Yeah.
But if you're going into this idea that like people just sign up and you just make money and you can just sit around doing nothing, you're going to be really disappointed, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Like
But going back to the disalignment with the long-term outcome, a lot of people think that the online coaching is the thing, and it maybe doesn't. And then when you do the $1 million question, it's like, I want to run a face-to-face studio. I want to do this, or I want to do that. And it's got nothing to do with online.
Yeah.
And that's where you'll see where your actual flame, the fire that burns in your belly, like that, you'll see where that is.
Yeah.
And why there's so much resistance to posting online, for example.
Yeah, where the friction comes from based on the goals that you're trying to achieve right now. Like, why is it so hard?
Yeah, or if you do, it does match. Let's say, like, I want to be into education. I want to get into education, a lot of them said. And then they're not posting online. Yeah. And you're like, well, you can work down the chain of why now. Yeah. You want to do it. What's getting in the way? Yeah.
And it's that we had an example of that. It's like, I want to create shitloads of education for people. Okay, well, you're not on social media. Why? It's like, because I'm trying to make sales content instead of just education content. Like, okay, so start.
Both. Yeah, make both.
Yeah, your education content will sell.
Yeah, if you have the time, your education content will... How I feel about education content is it is the best way to build authority. And then I think if you get good at problem solving and call to actions, you will... It's just you got to do the education content first. Yeah. And if you look at most people that others look up to, that's how they started. Yeah. It's just that they did enough to get by to lay the foundations. They're probably face-to-face coaching and, just doing all kinds of things to, lay the educational foundation. Then on top of that, they're like, I've got a membership site, I've got coaching available, I'll get this. So if you're engaged in someone's content for so long and it's like so helpful, when you open up spots to work with them, it kind of increases the likelihood, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're exceptional. Most of the people you're looking up to as well, like that education phase is exceptional.
Yeah, and then they become good communicator, understand the concepts better at their job. It's just that laying the foundation, I feel like people are in a rush. Yeah. People are in a rush to prove to people they're good at their job. Yep. And like they use, especially if you're in a face-to-face setting, you use your reputation in the gym as a reflection of how things should be online. No one knows who the fuck you are. Yeah. Yeah. So you don't have the right to feel that way because you don't have the same reputation that we had at Good Life Point Cook on the internet.
Correct. Yeah. If only.
Oh, life would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you go, well, what is it going to take? Yeah. What did it take for us to do it at the gym? Yeah. We ran workshops. We did group sessions. We gave information away for free. We put posters around on the machines on how to use it. Yeah. There was an ad on the television. There was so many things that we did to position ourselves. And people think that they can fast track that on the internet. Yeah. Because they've already done it in the gym. Yeah. And that's
skip that step.
Yeah, and that's probably distorts the path a little bit, I think. Yeah. Because then it's like, well, that stuff's beyond me because I already got a good reputation.
Do you think part of it is financial literacy as well?
As in?
So I just wonder, like, people have this impression of, say, like financial freedom or passive income or whatever. Like, you hear all this stuff from business coaches, from the internet, just like everywhere. Yeah. That's the ultimate goal, right? But we only look through the lens of the PT business to do that. So let's say you're an exceptional face-to-face trainer. Yeah. Online doesn't excite you. And if I gave you $1 million, it's the studio or it's the gym or it's the amazing face-to-face facility and all of that. None of that indicates that you want to live in the online space and move to Bali and work on the beach. So doing that's going to be really high friction. You don't want to do it. But you're like, I need more flexibility. I need income that's going to happen for less time.
Yeah.
And I need something to set up my future and future-proof so I don't have to work split shifts forever, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge motivator.
So what if it's a property investment portfolio? What if it's a investment in other businesses? What if it's expansion financially that's not just through your PT business?
Yeah, that would come down to understanding what's available.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, like in terms of financial literacy. It's like, well, if I can make 120 grand a year on the floor, I need to get online and do that then I have more time and then it's passive and I have the time back.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you can make 120 on the floor, you probably buy a house a year.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, possibly. Still an element of risk involved in that, I guess.
Yeah, there is with business too, but
no, of course. It's just like maybe some people are just prepared to like try and fail, and then it's like the cost is their time and effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't think many people look outside of... Because I say this because I never did.
Yeah, well, and
it's
that's
like the only way I can get to where I want to go is STC has to be an international dominant fucking company.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar business.
And more recently, it's like, well, what I need is this outcome.
Yeah.
What's the various pathways that I can get there?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is... I agree with you.
It's interesting.
Yeah, well, there will be another business outside of it, like fitness. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There'll be multiple things outside of fitness to accrue wealth and income. Like, it's just a matter of time. Like,
and we say that off the back of obviously discussing UStrong. Being good at systems, being good at service-based businesses in particular, having a lot of experience in that space. So we're able to be like, you know what? Like, opening another business somewhere else, doing something else, sick. I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
Would scare the shit out of a lot of people. So maybe if you're the diligent number cruncher, super disciplined with money, and just like can repeat a task consistently over time, it's like, well, why don't you do face-to-face for 5 years? Save 30% of your income and buy 3 investment properties.
Yeah. It's the safest approach.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, historically, that would be the safest approach.
Yeah, and it's not trying to sell that thing. It's just like, what's your skill set that you're good at? And if it's showing up and it's putting money away, how can you leverage that money to, instead of just the business has to do something that maybe you're uncomfortable with?
Yeah.
Or that even falls outside of that natural skill set. The talent is a better word.
Yep.
What are you talented at? Because I'm not that.
No, I agree.
I can't do the same thing over and over for an extended period of time.
I mean, we did for ages, but...
Yeah, but even then...
Things change.
It always evolved.
Yeah.
I trained
it's not the exact.
I trained Gen Pop for 4 years. I trained...
Yeah, I get it.
Like beginner female athletes for 4 years. Now I train
the challenge was different.
And we also ran multiple businesses on the outside of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a good place to end it.
Lots of unanswered questions left in the air for people to contemplate life.
Correct. It's Mentality Week. You're welcome.
What a podcast.
All right. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the episode, even if you didn't, hit subscribe, give us a positive comment, share it on your stories, tag us, DM us with any questions that you have, and I will honour the little joke in there if you want to come to a Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome to. Tune in, see what goes on. Bit of banter, lots of value.
Lots of problem solving.
Just being in a room with other people that are doing shit. Like, we have people stand out for, I think the longest is like 4 years of a 6-month program. Just repeat, because the value of being in the room with other people trying to do the thing is, you can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, you can't put price on it.
So do that. Go to the website as well to check out Standout PT if you are interested. Obviously, what are we, June, July, August. Intake is now open. Keep an eye on our socials. We've got an announcement coming out this week about nutrition resources for PTs.
Yeah.
So ways to deliver quality nutrition coaching to your clients inside the scope of a Cert 4 personal trainer. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be announced, if not probably the same day this comes out, but this week. And that's all. Thank you.
Catch you later.
Ciao.